S3, and then all the rest say reserve because you didn't turn the page yet. You're going to go, oh, okay, there's a lot of reserves in that one. And then when you go to S4, it says reserve all the way down the paper. Do not put the splitter in.
Okay.
No?
No.
Okay.
No reason to put it in there.
They'll get one.
If they have to add to it, they'll put one in. But I'm being told that once this is in place, the only time they're going to go back in here is to add the fiber from the CO and to test. That's it.
They doing their own testing, I'm assuming?
They haven't tested anything in the Bronx yet. But
No,
I
I'm
know of.
saying, I'm assuming they're gonna wait till we're done and then do their own testing.
They're going to have a contractor do the testing. They're going to test probably the stuff that they did and ask us to test the stuff that we did. Unless we say we don't want to test, then they'll test it.
Right, yeah, I guess that was the question. We're gonna get. Will we
Yeah.
get a chance
We
to
will
make
have
that
the
money?
test to make that chance to make that money. Yes.
Okay.
But for whatever reason, and you guys tell me if this makes sense or not, they don't want anything to be tested until the entire loop is in place, from CO to PDO. So from the CO, it'll go.
That's
It
what
could
I'm
go
saying.
to a
It
couple
sounds
other
like a time
places
thing.
Yeah.
before it gets here.
Yeah.
But why wouldn't you want to test yourself?
Right.
To make sure you did it right.
Saves
I'm-
time.
But
I
for
would
your,
personally wanna do
because,
that.
all right, now you build this, or I build this,
Right.
and you come and test it, and I fucked up,
Right.
and it's wrong, or two are wrong, or four are wrong, or none are wrong, whatever.
Right.
Who fixes that?
Well, what they're gonna
And
end
I
up
left the
doing-
project, or I'm still here. Do I get the call back to come and?
Right.
Do I have to come and fix it, or do I
You come
test it
fix
before
they
I
don't
leave
have to
it?
pay for
What's happened to me in the past is they actually will come in, they'll have somebody test it, and they'll check the whole thing through. If it passes, it passes. They just move on to
Right.
the next one. But if there's a problem, then they'll go ahead and break the components down.
Okay.
They'll split it in half.
Now they
Test
hire,
both
they
directions.
sub me out to do it, and me and you go out to test, and you're at the CO and I'm at the other end, and God only knows how many times the ring cut before it gets here.
I know.
So how do I know where all of that is?
You gotta go through it or shoot it with the.
LTD will tell you.
Right, it's
tell
going to
you
tell you where it is,
exactly
but
where it
you
is.
have, now you have all of the slack,
You got it.
right? So how many times do I have 500 feet of, I have
On a
I have
pole,
50
right.
here, 80 here, 100 there. There's a slack loop on purpose.
Right.
But that's what I said. Just
If it's not all on that map, how have you done it where you go, like you just take a shot?
Go in the middle and.
See, that's the
take a
whole
look.
thing. Like when it was easier with Verizon because everything's in house. So hey, we don't have light over here. The same guy who put it in, 9 times out of 10, he would come out. He'd be like, "Oh, I know what the issue is," because
Yeah.
he worked with it. And
Right.
he saw something that might be an issue,
Right.
so he knows exactly where it is.
Right.
He doesn't even have to shoot on OTR most of the time.
Yeah.
But if you come into a plant that you haven't been in before,
Right.
if you're good at troubleshooting fiber, you should be able to find it.
Yeah.
But I think it is a time thing. I think they're looking at like the likelihood of there being a problem
Right.
is
That's
a
what I
lot
was
lower.
saying. That's what I was saying.
Instead of having them test and
Right.
paying them to test and slowing down the project.
Okay.
Most of them should pass.
But as long as we get to make the money,
So
Down
I
the
put
line.
this in.
So we get paid after the first.
I was building them the other way so that the S1 you could read it, because you could tell I used to put the tubes on this side. For the splicer, for whatever reason, it worked out better for him to have the tubes on this side for the way they come out of the tray when you're doing your splicing. So it's not going in this way. We're putting it this way. Remember I said if you build it with your tubes on that side, then have these fibers over here. Since we have the tubes on this side, fibers come out here. Then I go through them again. I know that the top rear is 3. The bottom rear is 2. The top front is 1. And if I undo this, and I was correct, there should be no hash marks on this. Try not to let go of this. Try and keep where it comes off in the back so that you can get them out without putting an asshole in them.
that's what you call it.
Over the chair. So if you look on here, there's no hash mark. It will blatantly stand out. Now, try and remember this pattern bottom front is 0. Top front is 1. Bottom back is 2. Bottom top is 3. The reason why you need to remember that is because I've had splitters where S12 had 3 hashes on it and S13 had 3 hashes on it.
Can you say that again, please?
Wow. Bottom.
0, no hash.
Okay.
1, it'll have 1 black mark in it here.
Okay.
2, it'll have 2 black marks in it. 3 would have 3 black marks.
Gotcha.
Remember, you saw how I just laid this in here, and I went from back to front. So back top is 3. Back bottom
Is
is
4.
2. There's no 4,
Oh, 2.
right?
Zero,
so I'm
one,
working
two,
backwards.
3,
3, 2, 1. Because I want to work from the top.
There's 4 here.
There's 4.
0 is 1.
0 would be the 1 technically. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4. But they call it 0.
Okay.
So no hash mark.
So bottom
So
left
you-
is going to be 0.
Bottom well,
Right.
depending which way you're
Well,
looking
you're
at it, but I go by the barcode.
Okay.
Barcode being your front.
Okay.
Barcode being your front. Bottom front is 0. Top front is 1. Bottom rear is 2. Top rear is 3.
Gotcha.
Okay? Because I've run into it where bottom rear, which is supposed to have 2 hash marks, had 3 on it. And then the top rear had 3 hash marks also. And I went, oh, now what? Is that right? Am I wrong? And then when I took the other one off, it had 3 also.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Basically,
well,
it's
I know
cutting it
what
like
the
this.
I know what the orientation is. I'm going to follow suit, and I kept it the same.
You can see those hashtag. you
Back,
said.
bottom 2.
When I open this up, you'll see it.
Okay.
But here, there you go. There's
1,
one.
2.
Yeah, it's
Or
big.
0, 1,
Yeah,
2,
you'll be
3.
able to see it
I
clearly
think.
then.
Oh, not on that one, not on the first one.
Yeah, it's like a marker mark.
The first one, no, it doesn't have any. That's why it's 0.
So you can know.
Now the important part.
2, 3.
Now the cutesy stuff.
Fun stuff.
4, 1,
Go to a West North
2.
about this?
No, I went to Bottle King because you would do shots out of these. They came with a cover. Yeah. I went to Bottle King. They had them by the register.
Be nice. This get provided too, right? That's what you said. That this get provided too.
These do not.
all of these?
You serious?
Man,
I made these out of that tubing and the P-touch.
Are you the kid?
Yeah, they're made.
No, when you're sitting down watching TV,
He said, when you sit down watching
this is what I do. When I'm sitting on the couch next to my wife, ignoring her, watching TV, I make these things.
Here's what I typically do. I like to work 12 hours a day.
Here's
Come back to my room. I watch TV for about an hour, so get cleaned up,
right.
go to sleep.
And how many days a week do you work?
6 to 7,
Okay, so when you work 6 days, you're doing laundry on the 7th day.
usually.
You're going to be making these and building one of these.
And we get paid by the hour for doing it, right?
No, you talk to Wes.
Oh, we're gonna have a conversation.
You talk to Wes. But
I left my label maker at home too. Thanks.
Guess you're gonna buy one.
I have a really nice one at home.
They're $20.
I got a really nice one at home.
Jesus.
what's nice?
You need a simple.
Yes, simple.
Nothing in life is simple.
You left a lot of things at home. You told me you
Okay.
had a splicer
So,
that you didn't feel like
I
finding.
don't want to block you.
I don't even trust this.
2, 3, 4. Okay, so we start with S10. And our matrix says on S10, between our orange lines, all 8 are going to go to tray PDO1. So now I'm going to take.
You gotta label it after?
Label me.
What?
You gotta label the trays.
I will, because I forgot that step.
Yeah, I was gonna say, which
see it.
one is which?
Find your end. Glue them together with some saliva.
I mean, lick them.
Lick 'em and stick 'em.
But remember, if someone else is building this for you,
Get some disinfectant.
okay. Drape it over the side. Don't step on these. Always know where your fiber is. So
See, I wouldn't let somebody else.
I'm going to call
do this part.
this tray 1 or tray 2, however you want. Let's call this tray 2 and this one tray 1. So tray 2 is going to have PDO1.
But you're going to
Do
trade
you
one right
just
now.
Licked it.
need to write those down.
do you just now? Do you just decide which tray is going to be which, or do they?
You
want
can
it to-
decide. You can do it the other way.
Okay.
It seems to fit nicer
So you say
with this being
Tray-
tray 2, tray 1. So when you open it up, tray 1's on top,
Yep.
tray 2's on the bottom, and then your splitter tray.
okay.
Oh,
Okay?
I want to get gigged. I
That
want
makes it
everything to be
up, okay.
perfect. I want to get paid.
This is your, what'd you call that thing yesterday?
Spudger.
Spudger?
Yes.
Budger. Yeah.
Spudger.
There you go.
It
I just
prevents
went-
people
I
like
just went and bought
us
the
And the little tube.
that have sausage fingers so we can grab the fiber. Label number 2. S10.
That's 1-0.
So you're going to get internal bleeding, keep looking fiber.
You know what?
good for my
He's freaking
dad.
me out because you get that little piece of shard of glass.
Yeah.
You gotta go to the hospital get it dug out.
I know.
He's like, I know.
The teacher actually taught us that in the certification class that I
Me
took.
too.
And he told us about the guy that got it in his eye
Yeah.
and could not get it out by the eye doctor other than the eye doctor scratching his cornea all day long until he could find it.
Yeah, it's
Does that sound like a Dominic
Dominic
story?
says
Yeah.
I guess they tell that to every guy.
Yeah, exactly. Did you guys learn from FOA?
Yeah.
Boy.
Yeah, yep.
That's what we did too.
Yep.
Niggas like, how
Okay.
many guys are over there? that
Now I
teach
come
that?
back over here.
How much is that course over there?
Yeah, I just keep hearing my teacher saying,
I
I
don't
see you sticking that
remember
fiber in your
because
mouth. I'm like,
AT&T
ooh.
Yeah, did it through AT&T.
Yeah.
But
got
we had to
the-
renew.
I think it cost me,
It's like
How much is that,
175.
bro? You know?
I think
Well, for renewal, not for.
it was either 1,300 or 1,700, I forget.
how many people were in your class though? Because he charges by the head.
Yes, I was fortunate.
Individually.
I was fortunate that in my class, there was me and 3 other people,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm the only one that stayed and did the entire course.
Who's the course through?
And now the teacher works for me.
Nice.
Who's the course through?
BDI Data Link.
Yeah, see, I did mine through AMP about 25 years ago. You know, after NDI.
Oh, you
certification.
definitely need a new class then.
I don't.
No. Honestly, I think that it should happen. I mean, come on. How many times do you yell at the 80-year-old woman because she's not driving the way you want her to, and you say, "God damn it, go back and
Let's
get your test again."
I'll give you a perfect example. My wife does anesthesia. She said they've changed the drugs completely since the time she got out of school. She does not need to go back to school because she just learned incrementally.
Don't go to his wife. Don't go to his wife. I thought they do testing constantly with that thing.
Yeah.
No?
Yo.
He has
You allowed to put tape in there?
Yep.
Continuing education credit units. You have to go to so many classes each year.
Yeah.
Again, I've been doing it, and no one has said I don't like it. I was using white tape. You see how small it is now.
Look at all this craftsmanship. See, that's why I gotta speed up there. I want mine to be neat.
Instead of label, do you think that's a good idea just to put a blue one, a green one, a red, orange, well, orange, green, brown?
You could.
Or you just gonna get the tape and just put the, you know what?
Yeah, the color instead of putting the label, putting blue,
That might be-
orange.
You
Since
could.
we already have the tape, we gotta get it.
Yeah, but you don't have. You got to get it through, at least at a minimum, through black.
Black.
Minimum. There are times where it's
See white.
it's a 144. It's one fiber that goes into the end of the JSL, and that